In an interesting post that was submitted to Reddit, an anonymous user shared an extraordinary story involving a glowing UFO and mysterious metal debris. According to the user, who goes by the username of NoEmma, the incident began when they observed a radiant, unidentified object in the night sky. The UFO appeared to release glowing pieces of metal that seemed to fall near their property. Intrigued but cautious, the individual and their husband decided to investigate the following morning. The next day, they ventured out and began discovering strange metallic clumps scattered across the area where the UFO was last seen. These materials, they described, were unlike anything they had encountered before. The pieces appeared fused and bore evidence of exposure to extremely high temperatures, with an unusual multi-layered structure visible upon closer inspection. The user noted that the metals cooled in unique patterns, further intensifying the mystery. Faced with this mysterious find, the couple debated what to do next. In their Reddit post, they posed a question to the community: should they send these materials to a lab for scientific analysis? As of right now, the post has only been up for a few hours, but it's attracted a range of responses. Some users enthusiastically encouraged them to pursue testing, speculating that the material might hold evidence of extraterrestrial technology. Others expressed that they should hide the findings, adding that these types of discoveries have gone missing in the past, never to turn up again. The original post reads as follows: "This is all fresh in my mind, and I'm still trying to process what happened. During the evening of the 16th of December, I noticed a strange glowing object hovering towards the back of my house. I live in the countryside in the south of England, close to Wickham, and behind my house there is nothing. No buildings and no streetlights. It's just a large grassy area where I often walk my dog. The object in question was circular or orb-shaped and was very bright to the point where my eyes couldn't focus on it. It reminded me of when you look at a star through a telescope. It's slightly clearer, but you can't make out what it is due to the amount of light being emitted. Due to it happening at night, my iPhone camera did a terrible job at picking it up. The object made no noise, and the only reason I knew it was there was because I let my dog out for her evening toilet before bed, and it was in my line of view as I opened the back door. The whole encounter lasted around a minute. If I had let my dog out in the garden a few minutes before or after, I would never have seen it. About 20 seconds after initially spotting it, I noticed that it appeared to be dripping a molten-like metal onto the ground. After doing this multiple times, it started moving left in the sky, and after this, it vanished from sight due to moving behind the large oak trees on my property that are around 40 feet in height. I'll try and highlight this in one of the images. I've also adjusted the brightness to help highlight the object, as it's quite difficult to make out. I came upstairs and updated my husband about what I had just seen, and he suggested that the next morning we should head out into the field behind our house with his metal detector. It took a while, but we started finding clumps of metal-like materials that looked as though they had been fused and heated at an extreme temperature and then cooled. The items also appeared multi-layered. Shortly after the sighting, there were helicopters in the area. We could hear them from our bedroom flying over our house, so we knew they were close. However, I will say that living in the south of England, there are multiple military sites, so not sure if that's a correlation. I've never seen anything like this before, and the whole encounter probably lasted no more than 60 seconds, as the object was constantly moving the whole time. My question is, what did I see? Is it common for UFOs to drip metal, or could this have been something different? Is it worth sending these metal things off somewhere to get them tested? And if so, where would I send them? Thanks." Faced with this mysterious find, the individual turned to the online community for advice. In their post, they asked whether it would be worth sending the material to a laboratory for testing. They acknowledged their lack of expertise and expressed a desire for answers, tempered by concerns about the integrity and cost of scientific analysis. The post quickly garnered attention, sparking a lively debate among users. Some urged the poster to proceed with testing, emphasizing the rarity and potential significance of UFO trace evidence. Others offered practical advice, suggesting universities or independent research organizations that might analyze the materials without the risk of confiscation or exploitation. The person who posted the photographs did answer a few questions, stating that she is a mother of a small child and that some of the remarks have caused concern, because others have suggested that the material may be radioactive. She claimed that she was surprised by the amount of attention the post received and that she is now concerned that the material might be hurting her family. As many pointed out in the comments, in certain cases, these materials have exhibited radioactive properties, adding another layer of intrigue to the UFO mystery. The presence of radiation suggests that these objects might employ advanced technologies beyond current human understanding, or that they interact with their surroundings in unusual ways. For example, in 1980, the Rendlesham Forest incident in England involved radiation measurements taken at the alleged UFO landing site. Military personnel using Geiger counters detected higher than normal radiation levels near depressions in the ground, which were attributed to the unidentified craft. The presence of radiation in these cases has both scientific and theoretical implications. From a technological perspective, the radiation could be a byproduct of propulsion systems or energy sources used by advanced craft. Alternatively, it could result from high-energy interactions between the craft and the environment. Despite the compelling nature of radioactive UFO evidence, it also raises safety concerns. Prolonged exposure to radioactive materials can harm individuals and complicate efforts to preserve and study such evidence. While not all UFO encounters involve radiation, its presence in select cases adds credibility to the notion that some UFO phenomena might involve advanced non-terrestrial technology, further fueling the quest for answers. The Redditor's find, if authenticated, could join this rare class of UFO encounters with trace evidence. The multi-layered structure and apparent exposure to extreme heat described in the post align with characteristics reported in previous cases, suggesting the potential for groundbreaking discoveries. One of the most pressing concerns among UFO enthusiasts and researchers is the fate of physical evidence. Numerous accounts suggest that materials recovered from alleged UFO encounters have gone missing under suspicious circumstances, leading to skepticism about the intentions of those who take custody of these artifacts. While UFO sightings are not particularly rare, thousands are reported worldwide each year, recovering physical evidence is an entirely different matter. The rarity of such evidence amplifies its significance, making each fragment or anomaly a potential key to unraveling the UFO mystery. Many UFO sightings occur in remote locations or last for only a few moments, leaving witnesses with no opportunity to collect potential evidence. UFOs often appear at high altitudes or over bodies of water, where any material ejected might be irretrievable. Witnesses may hesitate to report or collect evidence due to fear of ridicule or disbelief, resulting in missed opportunities to preserve artifacts. Even when materials are recovered, improper handling can introduce contaminants, compromising their scientific value. Given these challenges, finding UFO trace evidence represents a unique and rare intersection of opportunity, courage, and curiosity. Each discovery is a fleeting chance to probe deeper into the mystery, making its preservation and study all the more critical. The question of custodianship looms large in the UFO community. Historically, many witnesses have chosen to hand over materials to government authorities, assuming they would possess the resources and expertise to analyze the evidence. However, the lack of transparency in many official investigations has eroded public trust. The emergence of private research institutions and independent scientists has offered an alternative. Organizations like the Galileo Project, spearheaded by Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb, aim to apply rigorous scientific methodologies to UFO investigations. Similarly, groups such as the Mutual UFO Network work to collect and preserve evidence while advocating for public disclosure. When UFO materials are entrusted to capable and credible institutions, the potential benefits extend far beyond resolving individual cases. Transparent analysis can shift the UFO discussion from speculation to science, building a foundation for serious inquiry and expanding humanity's understanding of aerial phenomena. For instance, if a recovered material exhibits isotopic ratios or structural properties inconsistent with earthly manufacturing, it could point to advanced technology or even extraterrestrial origins. Conversely, if the material is found to be terrestrial in origin, it still offers insights into what could explain the sighting, whether it be secret military projects, rare meteorological phenomena, or other natural occurrences. The ongoing revelations about UAPs from credible sources, including military pilots and intelligence agencies, have reignited public interest in UFOs and the materials they might leave behind. This renewed focus offers an opportunity to address long-standing trust issues in the field. Witnesses should be encouraged to document their discoveries thoroughly and involve multiple parties in the collection process to ensure transparency. Neutral organizations or coalitions of scientists should oversee the analysis and reporting of findings to minimize conflicts of interest. Results from UFO material studies should be made publicly available to promote accountability and encourage peer review. Increasing public understanding of the scientific process and the importance of trace evidence can help dispel fears of suppression or ridicule. While sightings of strange lights, disks, and triangular crafts are relatively common in the annals of UFO encounters, cases involving physical trace evidence are exceedingly rare. Among these, one of the most intriguing phenomena is the observation of UFOs dripping or ejecting metallic substances onto the ground. These encounters, where witnesses claim to recover mysterious metals, provide a tantalizing bridge between speculation and empirical investigation, fueling ongoing debates about the origins and nature of UFOs. One of the earliest and most famous accounts of UFOs ejecting metal occurred in 1957 in Ubatuba, Brazil. Fishermen reportedly observed a disc-shaped craft that exploded in mid-air, scattering fragments of a lightweight, silvery material into the sea and onto their boats. Samples of the recovered material, which were later analyzed, consisted mostly of magnesium with an unusually high degree of purity, far beyond the capabilities of industrial processes at the time. Similarly, in the 1980s, residents of Council Bluffs, Iowa, reported seeing a glowing UFO that appeared to drip molten metal as it hovered in the sky. Witnesses collected the solidified remnants, which were described as having a peculiar, almost otherworldly composition. Encounters involving UFOs dripping or ejecting metal stand out as a unique subset of UFO reports, largely because they leave behind tangible evidence for analysis. Unlike visual or radar sightings, where the phenomenon is fleeting and leaves no physical trace, these incidents offer an opportunity for scientific scrutiny. This physicality moves such cases beyond anecdotal testimony, allowing investigators to apply rigorous methods to analyze the materials involved. The rarity of these encounters adds to their allure. Despite the thousands of UFO sightings reported worldwide each year, only a tiny fraction involve recoverable materials. This scarcity could be attributed to the nature of the phenomenon itself, the difficulty of accessing remote or short-lived sites, or the possibility that such events occur under highly specific and uncommon circumstances. Despite the excitement surrounding the Redditor's discovery, their post also highlights the challenges associated with handling and analyzing potential UFO materials. Many commenters cautioned the couple about the risk of losing custody of the debris if it was sent to the wrong institution. UFO trace evidence has a history of disappearing under suspicious circumstances, often after being handed over to government agencies or private organizations. This legacy of mistrust underscores the need for careful decision-making when pursuing analysis. The cost of testing was another concern raised in the discussion. Comprehensive analysis of metallic debris often requires specialized techniques, such as mass spectrometry, electron microscopy, and isotopic analysis, which can be expensive and time-consuming.